not enough people talk about how much a sexualized lifestyle causes you to objectify people. You don't even see people as people. You literally see them as sexual objects, and it is so sad. So I watched a YouTube video earlier that said it's less about desexualizing your brain and more about depornifying, but I kind of disagree with that because sex itself can be just as addictive as porn, if not more. So it's all about learning how to properly channel your sexual energy because it is a gift from God. Sex is a beautiful thing, and when you get to share that with someone, it is fireworks. It is such an amazing, beautiful thing, and God does want us to experience it because it is good. When you watch porn, you're psychologically making yourself the person in the corner of the room watching two other people pleasure each other. You think God is proud to see you like that? Like, come on. Let's be real here. God is not proud to see you like that. What happens in darkness always comes to light. So what you do in your own time, it always shows when you're in social environments and you're interacting with people. It shows through your energy, through your eye contact, through your presence, your aura. Like this, and this all happens through your electromagnetic field. Okay? As people, we all have our own electromagnetic field, and it basically allows us to feel each other's energy. So a man with no purpose chases pleasure. The man addicted to his sexual desires hovers around woman with no backbone because he's consumed by his cravings. You become incredibly unattractive when you're addicted, and you become incredibly more attractive when you're not addicted and instead you're in control of your urges. And women especially pick up on this energy immediately because they're just naturally intuitive beings. Us men, some of us are more naturally intuitive than other men, but we ultimately need to learn and practice this as a strength, whereas women just naturally get it. So women are deeply emotional and intuitive just by nature. But as a man, your semen is your creative power. Like you have the literal power to create a whole new human being. Like your semen is sacred fluid. And being addicted to porn and sex is constantly releasing frequently. You're wasting that life force. Addiction to porn and sex is a waste of that life force. Every time you release, you're flooding your brain with dopamine. This is your brain's reward system. And when you do this, you put yourself in an endless loop of wanting to chase this dopamine, chasing pleasure. When you release frequently, your brain thinks that you've achieved something. And so in turn, you lack motivation afterwards because you feel like you've already achieved something, so you don't feel the need to work toward your actual achievements. The more frequently you release, the more you're sabotaging your brain. Your thoughts become your feelings, become your actions, becomes who you are. An orgasm is ultimately the greatest feeling that you could ever experience as a human being. And so when you do this frequently, you become numb to everything else in reality. This causes you to be unable to enjoy the little things in life, like spending time with your family and building genuine connections, as in friendships, not even all romantic. But that's what happens when you do this frequently and you're addicted to sex and porn, is you begin to objectify people and you're no longer interested in family and friend connections. Everything just is sexually objectified in your mind. And so I was very sexualized from an extremely young age, watching American Pie when I was like 6 and 7, always being pushed to approach women. I was introduced to porn, told that it was normal, and like this was not normal for a child. This is not normal for a child. When it came to sex ed in like grade 7, 8, I felt like I was the only one who even knew what half this stuff was. And obviously, me being a young boy, I was all like happy that I knew this stuff and people didn't, right? Because I was a curious young man. I would raise my hand and I would shock my teacher, and then my class would laugh at me because they simply didn't understand yet, and it was a whole uncomfortable topic, right, at that age for most people. But I was already so like I didn't understand why everyone thought it was so funny. It was so normalized to me, the topic of sex, like it was never a laughing matter. It was normal. Like I didn't understand like the immaturity behind ooh sex. I'd never like got to really experience that. And if I ever had a question about anything while growing up, and obviously as a kid, especially being a boy, because I mean not especially, but I don't know, because I'm a guy, right? I'm not a girl. I don't know. But I feel like boys become curious before girls do. But I was always able to, if I had a question, I could ask and I would receive an answer for that. Because if I was asking the question, then I was ready to know, right? And part of me wishes that I would have been taught more how to properly channel my curiosity into building genuine connections rather than exploring myself. And anyway, I never had the influence from someone who pulled themselves out of a sexualized mindset. And so I had to, first of all, learn to acknowledge this on my own, and then begin to learn how to desexualize my mindset. And so I've now been doing this for years, and I'm very proud of myself now because I've talked about having to be my own parent emotional-wise before. But I've had to be my own influence on desexualizing myself, and I've done a pretty good job at it. And I feel pretty accomplished at this point that I'm at. So we're not going to go into crazy details, but so the best way to desexualize your mindset is to retrain your focus and remember that if it leads to sin, get rid of it. It is so much easier to avoid than it is to resist. And so I stopped listening to profane music. I would be scrolling on social media and I would see a sexual post, not even like an image. It could even be like a quote, or you see some dumb shit all the time on social media about just dumb things that people say that are just very sexual things, and they just actually don't really mean anything deeply. But I started hitting the 3 little dots and hitting not interested on like everything sexual. Facebook always asks you to clarify, why are you not interested? I always sexual, always. And so that helps change your algorithm away from the sexual bullcrap. But also I just wanted to work on just not scrolling on social media all the time anyway, which in turn on its own is very helpful. But now my algorithm is pretty good. It's all about like faith and God and dogs, and it's genuinely a good way for me to kind of shut my brain off for a few minutes and relax and take a step away from reality for a minute and kind of recharge myself a little. So I'm definitely not addicted to scrolling anymore. But if your mind wanders, bring it back. Change your thoughts. If you catch yourself looking at a girl in a lustful way, control your wandering eye. Do 180 degrees and look the other direction if you need to. Look straight up.
Do what you gotta do.
If you catch yourself thinking about something sexual, try to change your thought. Try to think about something else, because the more you focus on that thought, the less you're avoiding and the more you're starting to resist. And if you're only resisting, eventually you will give in to that urge. And there's a couple other things as well, like unfollowing a lot of accounts and skipping sex scenes in movies and TV shows. Like I said, it's so much easier to avoid than to resist. And so in any little way that you can avoid, just avoid. If it leads to sin, get rid of it. It's literally you versus you. You need to remind yourself of why you want to stop indulging in this disgusting behavior, habit, or addiction. And you got to use that to fight your urges. Lock in and control your mind. Then you will build the self-control it takes to conquer this filthy addiction that you have. And you'll see how much it changes your life. You'll stop objectifying women, and you will start to see them as actual people again. And you'll start to enjoy the little things in life. You'll have more motivation to go out and do things and communicate authentically with people. If you ever are really having a hard time, just remember that you can always just surrender everything to God. And keep in mind that what you ask for in prayer, believe you have received it, and it will be given to you. So pray on this disgusting addiction that you so badly want to break. Use Jesus' name. Say, Dear God, I pray in Jesus' mighty name that you remove this disgusting habit from my life and you redeem me from this addiction, and He will help you. He will grant you some strength, but ultimately keep in mind that it's always easier to avoid than to resist. That's honestly been the biggest thing for me in my mind, and even still to this day. When I get urges, I always remember that it's easier to avoid than to resist. If it leads to sin, get rid of it, and pray to God about everything. But with that being said, I'm gonna cut it here. I love you, and God bless.